So the India tour of Zimbabwe finally comes to an end, and as they say, the ending should be a classic example of what the entire story is. What a game it has been. What an outstanding performance it has been from both the teams, especially from Zimbabwe. We would say, is this the Zimbabwe we all wanted to see? This is the Zimbabwe we all cricket fans wanted, to play throughout this series. We have to feel for Sikandar Raza. Perhaps, I personally believe that this would be one of the finest knocks on the losing side. This is the post-match show of the final ODI between India and Zimbabwe. I'm your host Damini Basu, and I am once again delighted to be joined by my very distinguished guest, Joydeep Mukherjee, who is sporting a very cool and suave cap to give himself a very spunky look, and Nishant Jeet Arora, who first of all needs to today I will give the clairvoyance title to Nishant. Nishant, give me a fist bump. Come on, give me a fist bump.
Well done, well
Shubman
done.
Gill. Well done, Nishant.
But Dava, I think the
yeah.
credit goes to you also. I think the match was won by the spinners. 20
Yes,
overs,
yeah.
68,
I want to say
4
something
wickets.
here. If Nishant played a major part in the clairvoyance, Joyda was once again never to fail to impress. Bang on with his prediction with the Indian
In
spinners.
Sholay,
So
it
we'll
was
begin.
Dharmender and Amitabh Bachchan together.
And
Yeah.
in cricket, there was a saying at one time in Australian cricket that together they will. If Thomo won't, Lily will. So here it is. If Joyda won't, Nishant will. Together they will.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
Joyda, today we'll begin with Nishant. Nishant, first of all, what do you have to say about, since you have been bang on with Shubman Gill? So I'll just take the name Shubman Gill. How brilliant was this young lad?
I think this innings was a long time coming, and this is something which will give him a more than the effort. It will give him a huge sense of relief because somewhere deep in his mind, this landmark was stuck somewhere, and it must have started with that famous and most outstanding knock at the MCG where he won the game for India. MCG or Brisbane, where he won the game. Brisbane, where he won the game for India, and but he
Gaba
won-
ka ghamand.
Gaba ka ghaman.
Gaba, it was 91 he hit.
92. I remember the score.
91, 91,
Okay.
Nishant.
Okay.
He
Okay.
gave
Jo
this.
bhi hai,
It was
jo bhi hai,
a slip
jo bhi
catch to. It was a slip catch to Steve Smith.
Okay,
So
so
bhi hai, but Gaba ka ghamand toota us din.
so
Bilkul.
I think from there it started a bit, and then we have seen him getting good starts and not converting them into big scores. And anyone who has seen the progress of this kid knows that he is made to make big hundreds. The saying in Punjab is that when Shubman Gill gets 100, he gets a daddy 100. Daddy hundreds are 150, 164, 175. He's that kind of a player. He never stops. And he's so easy to eyes, so pleasing. His shot selection is like when you watch him, you feel like the time has stopped. You just have to see an artist. His bat is like an artist with a brush in his hand, and he's just painting something beautiful. With there are like you have players, players who have power, you have players who have skill, players who have technique, you have players who have attitude, who have players who have character, like to fight. Like Steve Waugh played all his cricket with 2 shots. He was the most ugly looking batsman, but the amount of matches he won for Australia was incredible. But there are few players who are artists. Like Roger Federer is an artist. And I'm not saying that Shubman Gill is as great as Roger Federer. He may end up being there. Good luck to him. But I don't know how much he will play. And I hope he plays and serves country. Like Joyda said that he's your player who should play all 3 formats. He's one player who will, whenever he's in song, he will be pleasing to your eyes. You will watch him to just enjoy the game of cricket. And there are few cricketers like Mark Waugh was one, Muhammad Azharuddin was another one, David Gower was another one. Elegant. Like the word elegant is used for them. So I think he's that kind of a cricketer. Good luck to the lad. This 100 will give him a lot of satisfaction. He knew that this landmark had to be achieved and taken out of his mind, and now he will be a free bird. We may see many more coming like this. And he has been in incredible form, actually. If you look at the way he has performed in the last tour of West Indies and now here, it just shows his desire to get runs. He's hungry when it comes to batting.
Shubman Gill was absolutely a treat to watch today with his big daddy 100, and also what an unbelievable catch that was to ensure Sikandar Raza unfortunately didn't manage to take the match away from Team India. What a lovely diving catch it was, an all-round performance. Joyda, let's get to know from you now. What do you have to say about Shubman Gill, the rising star? You have harped on him.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, I have been a huge admirer of his, and I saw him in the first day of Nets after he won the World Cup, under 19 World Cup, and came into in 2018 into KKR team, and he walked into the Nets to bat, and he did not defend one ball, and everybody in that team was looking at each other. Where did this kid come from? No, so there are some players who baffle you. He's one of them. But I will also have to have I will also have to say at the same breath that he has not been as consistent as he would have liked to be. That is also for the reason that he is young. It'll take a little bit of time for him to find his feet in international cricket. We saw in the West Indies he threw away a couple of times his knocks, but he's learned from his mistakes. Now, there are some players who will play India A for 3 years, 4 years, and then ultimately, just with the pile of runs, they'll make it into the Indian team. There are some who will play one knock, and that will propel them into the senior team. So Shubman Gill in West Indies chasing 390 in the fourth innings, gets 200 not out and a run a ball straight in the Indian team. We don't need to see him anymore. He's special, but what he's also realizing now is, in spite of being special, there are a lot of guys who are special here. So if I keep getting 30s, 40s, 60s, Rohit Sharma and KL Rahul will open. 3 will be Virat Kohli. Where will I play?
Correct.
So he has learned his lesson of turning these into big runs.
Absolutely.
You don't play for India because of how good you are. You play for India because of the runs you score. So, but right now, if I had to pick somebody, see, Shikhar Dhawan is not as talented as Shubman Gill. But look at Shikhar Dhawan's record. Look at his consistency. Look at the number of matches he's won.
Yes.
So ultimately, if today we had to pick 3 openers, we will in one-day cricket, it'll be Shikhar Dhawan, Rohit Sharma, and KL Rahul. And now Shubman is writing his name in this group. That is what he has done.
Yes.
And he has learned his lesson. He's a very special player. He'll ultimately play 3 versions. He's a future India captain. He is the man. He is the player. But there's a finishing school for every player, no matter how good you are. Rohit Sharma went through that. Virat Kohli went through that. Tendulkar went through that. Ganguly went through that. Lakshman went through that. Everybody's been through that. So he's turning the corner.
I will add one thing here. I think most of the players, like no matter how talented you are, they have their set of setbacks, they have their set of out of form and all that. In whatever 7-8 years of cricket they have played, whether it is an under 19 level, whether it is a Ranji Trophy level, India under 19 level. One thing which was remarkable about Shubman Gill was, till the time he got into the Indian side and then didn't convert those 30s into 100s and 40s, like wasting away the good starts, he had never seen anything like this. Trust me, you go and ask any Punjab cricketer. I was actually discussing this with UV when I met him recently, and he like sort of Yuvraj is a mentor to now a lot of these kids, like whether it is Abhishek and Shubman. He said that what is remarkable about this kid is that he is learning all these things when he has walked into the international arena. Like players like us, we all had our share of ups and downs while we were his journey from under 14 cricket to Indian cricket was so smooth, and the only journey which would be resembling to that kind of like not in that level, but Sachin was one cricketer who people saw and said he will play for India, and he ended up playing for India without any first Ranji Trophy match 100, first Irani Trophy match 100, and Shubman had
and first Dilip Trophy match also in the middle.
Yeah. So, but
Yes.
Shubman had same. He played for under, he played his first game for under 14 for his district, and then he straight away got into Punjab under 16. While he was playing Punjab under 16, he got into under 19. Next year, he was playing Ranji Trophy. He was in the India under 19 squad. So he never had to like wait for big things to happen to him. So when big thing really happened to him, that is the time he realized, okay, then like we say, mother cricket said, I have to teach you few lessons now. So mother cricket has its own tricks. So now I'm sure he has come up, and always I always believe second year is tough for any international cricketer. First year is like, if you're talented, first year will be very smooth. Second year, your batting is dissected on by the video and analysis and all that. Bowlers know which areas to bowl, which areas not to bowl. They know what are the areas you will not play your shots, and they dry up runs for you. And then you can sail with talent. Then your temperament comes in picture, how you overcome that. And that is the ditch where most of the talented cricketers fall.
And as far as
So, yeah, yeah.
as far as turning the corner is concerned, Shubman Gill is only playing one version for India now consistently. He's not playing Test cricket consistently. He only played because KL Rahul was injured, and he's not playing T20 for India. That's the reason why I use the word he's turning the corner. This success in one day cricket will help him in T20 cricket and in Test cricket, and he'll find his feet. He's had some unbelievable knocks, like that knock in Australia we are talking about. But it's not one knock. It's not one knock. It's knocks over and over again. When you play for 15 years for the country, 18 years for the country, 135 Test matches, that's the players people may remember.
And
You know, so
I will
that
just, I will just sum up this discussion and move on to other players. I think Shubman Gill getting runs is a very, very good headache for the selectors and the team management. Because if he's getting runs, no matter where he's getting runs, it's very difficult to keep a player like that, talent like that, out of the game.
And we cannot stop discussing about Shubman Gill. He's our player of the match for today's brilliant innings that he played. Now, Joyda, we'll come to you. Talking about batting by Team India. Yes, Shubman Gill was outstanding. Ishan Kishan followed up with a half century. Unbelievable. But, when Team India were going so good, would you say you were a bit disappointed that they could not breach the 300 mark after all? Because I was hearing the commentators, even they stated that it's very funny that India hold a record that they have till date, like never breached 300 in Zimbabwe. Were you expecting that to happen today?
yeah, I think India played poorly today. They were poor with the bat. They were very poor with the ball. And that's the reason why
Definitely.
these two teams came close to competing, because I thought India's batting, in spite of Shubman being so good, and in between Ishan Kishan doing the job, I think everybody else around them, I think KL got set, got out, Shikhar got set, got out. I think the batting was pretty loose, in one word. And it was because it was Zimbabwe, you just got by. Any other team would make you pay. I think they were at least 40, 45 runs short on this wicket, especially against this bowling, 60
Definitely.
runs short. So that is the
Definitely.
reason why. If this was the Australia bowling or the South Africa bowling, I would say 15, 20 runs short on this wicket. If it's Zimbabwe bowling, they're 60 runs short on this wicket. So we haven't batted well.
Absolutely.
This wasn't a good game for India. Lakshman will have a chat with the boys, I'm for sure.
Completely agreed. Very well said. Uh, and Shubman Gill is also the player of the series. So this series belongs completely to Shubman. Along with today, the entire series belongs to
I think
Shubman.
this is
He
the
has won it.
second man of the series award for him. I think in West Indies also he was
Yeah,
good.
West Indies also he was the player of the series. So
Good for the young.
Shubman is having the time of his life. So Nishant, I'll come to you. As Joyada very rightly stated that India's batting, if we keep aside Shubman Gill and Ishan Kishan, were quite loose. So there was Brad Evans from Zimbabwe. He got his five for 52. He completely ran over India towards the end. So would you say that Zimbabwe looked a much more confident and a better side who were hungry to, put up something. If not win, yes, unfortunately they couldn't win, but they had it in them. Like, look at Brad Evans, a fifer he bagged. Your thoughts?
I think it also proved that this was a difficult wicket to bat on in the first innings. And we saw the quality of batting which was needed to survive these conditions was not in this Zimbabwe batting. India survived today because of the depth of their batting and the talent in their batting. And that's how they got those 290 runs. Batting was much easy in the second innings, and that's where I think Zimbabwe lost the first two ODIs. Without taking much away from Brad Evans, who got 5 wickets, it's also I think it was a wicket where conditions helped the bowlers, and he used them very well. So credit must be given where it's due. It's one thing that there is a help in the wicket; it's another thing to pitch in the right areas, and he did exactly that. Uh, Coming back to, I think Indian batting, I would give a lot of credit to Indian batting because, as I said, that it was not easy to bat on this wicket. You just look at the Zimbabwe scorecard of the first two ODIs where they were asked to bat against India in these conditions, and they were like absolutely blown away by the Indian bowlers.
Yes.
And I can promise you, if they had batted again today, Zimbabwe, we would have seen a similar match. I can promise you, unless some exception like an innings like Sikandar Raja. Today is the difference between why Zimbabwe was so close, and we discussed this in the morning. I think there is a silver lining in Zimbabwean cricket, grey clouds of Zimbabwe cricket, and that is Sikandar Raja. He has been outstanding. He has been performing consistently. He made runs against Bangladesh, and when Zimbabwe managed to beat Bangladesh at their own home ground, which is not easy task, keeping in mind the current
Definitely.
Zimbabwe situation, it was largely because of this young boy. So a lot of credit must be given. He's a special talent, and I think in future, Zimbabwean batting, like in the past, used to revolve around Andy Flower. This batting would revolve around this guy.
It should. And Joyda, as you had stated that you were really looking forward to, and you always wanted, and everybody as genuine cricket lovers should always want our opponents to put up great fights. It was unfortunate that Zimbabwe let go of the first two ODIs so poorly, but today's match actually, even made us say that whatever made Zimbabwe not play like this in the first two ODIs, whatever prevented them from performing like this. Could you please give us your thoughts about the brilliant fight put up by Sikandar Raza? Like, at one time, it really looked that maybe Zimbabwe were getting over the line.
Yeah, just like Nishant said, if they had batted second, they could have been close. I slightly disagree with Nishant on the fact about India's batting. I thought that if there was Trent Bolt and Jimmy Anderson and Stuart Broad bowling on this pitch, I can understand you not being good enough with the bat. But against this Zimbabwe attack on this pitch, whatever little bit help is there, you should be able to take it. You're India. You're supposed to be one of the best in the world. So I thought India hasn't batted well in this match. Yeah, I can understand, if it was Australia bowling in Stark and Cummins and blah, 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 Josh Hazelwood on this pitch, I can understand. But at the end of the day, the Zimbabwe bowlers are not of that caliber. So tomorrow, what happens if in some one-day game, in similar conditions, we lose the toss and the bowlers are Stark and Cummins and Josh Hazelwood? What happens then? So I thought that in spite of being a little bit circumspect, and he made a great point. See, today India won 3 tosses. Okay, very seldom will you win 3 tosses. And had Zimbabwe won a couple of tosses, I'm not saying that they would have won, but the series would have been more competitive. And we on the shows before also we were saying, one show Nishant was flying back. We were saying that we have to give Zimbabwe time for their resurgence. So today was one example. This might not happen in the next game, but now they've shown that you can do it.
Yes.
It might not happen in the next 3 games, but again, after 3 games, in the 4th game, it might happen again. So this is how it's the building blocks. So today we saw Lance Klusner, the coach, smiling because he knows that my team has played to its potential. Even after the loss, he was smiling because he wants his team to play the best that they can. And they did that today. And India helped with their batting. India helped very poor with the ball. These are IPL gun
Absolutely.
bowlers. We didn't get one Yorker. We didn't get the slower balls. The field was pathetic today, the bowling. If you see
Absolutely.
at the back end, when between 75 and 100, Raza was hitting you all over the park. It was looking like, I don't know, under 16 India bowling too. It didn't look like that. These are gun IPL
Absolutely.
bowlers. So, they lost their way today.
I think sometimes what happens, Damni, is that when you have won the series, it is the last match of the tournament. Your bags are packed in the hotel room, so mentally
You
you
tend
check,
to
you
you
mentally
tend to
check
let
out.
your hair down.
You
Yeah.
mentally check out before you check out, and that
Yeah.
But
I have seen
Nishant,
that.
these guys, none of these guys are sureties in the team. Avesh Khan, Deepak
I
Chahar,
agree with you. I
you can
completely agree.
you can only switch off if you're Jasprit Bumrah and
Yeah,
Mohammad Shami. You can't switch off now. You're making your name. Today was
Very true.
an opportunity for these three to come and tell the Indian selectors, T20 World Cup, it's me. I bowled 5 Yorkers in 1 over.
yeah,
Pick me, pick me.
exactly what
Yeah,
Shubman Gill did today. Like, I get your
yeah,
point.
exactly.
Yeah, and
Yeah, exactly.
I think sometimes the challenge for the team management or someone like Paddy Upton, who's a mental conditioning coach with the team now, he will sit with the boys, and I'm sure he will discuss that the series is not over till it's over. It's a very very simple saying, but it is what it is. Like the matches are not over till the last ball is bowled. We have
And
heard this.
Nishant, for some players who are in the fringe, it's never over for you
Exactly. Yeah, I agree
because
with you.
you are making a name for yourself, just like
I,
Shubman Gill did. Before West Indies series, Shubman Gill was only there because Virat is resting, Rohit is resting. Next time one day team happens, he'll be there. So that was a chance for
I
Avesh, Deepak Chair, and Shardul to tell the Indian selectors, "Sir, it's me. Pick me."
yeah,
But they
like
failed today.
Kuldeep Yadav is doing, like whatever chances Kuldeep Yadav is getting,
Aksar,
he's
Aksar can
very
do
good.
nothing wrong.
Aksar
Aksar is
Patel,
pushed Ravindra Jadeja to the hint.
yeah,
He's pushing him all the time with bat, with ball, everything.
yeah,
Look at how consistent he's become.
yeah, that's true. I
That's why,
completely,
see, Aksar has been playing for so long. In spite of that, he's not taking it easy because he knows he's not the number one all left arm spin all rounder in the country. He's
yeah.
number two. He wants to be one. So he's not taking it easy. Kuldeep
I
knows
would,
I'm
I
not
would
one.
simply, I would simply say India won the game today because of the spinners. If you look at their spells, 20 overs, 68 runs, 4 wickets. And Joyda had mentioned in the pre-show
Joyda
that,
had very clearly stated that it's
that
the
three
Indian
Indian
spinners,
spinners versus Zimbabwe
Kuldeep
batting.
Yadav and Akshar Patel. They
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
had they
So
not done their work, probably it would have been
if you
Zimbabwe
look at
taking over the
if you
game
look at
today.
the top three bowlers of fast bowlers, yes, Deepak Chahar got 2 wickets. Avesh Khan got 2 wickets, but they have gone for more than 7 and over.
Yeah.
If you look
Yeah,
at so
yeah.
and even Shardul was slightly on the expensive side. So
And
if India
Shardul
has
generally is. Shardul generally is.
uh,
If you see most of Shardul's spells, even in Test cricket, he goes at 3.5 and over. But he has this knack of picking up wickets. That's the only reason
yeah,
that they go with him. But yeah, today the spinners were phenomenal. I mean, can you imagine if the spinners had a 45-run day, match over?
yeah,
That's exactly what I stated. If the
actually
spinners hadn't done their job, this match would definitely have been taken by Zimbabwe
actually
today.
Zimbabwe was 2 hits away from win. Like it's
Yeah.
Absolutely.
yeah. So it was
And especially if Gill hadn't, taken that catch of Raza, if Raza had stuck till the end, probably, Raza would have taken away the match
I
from
feel bad for the boy
India.
actually. I feel bad for the boy.
Yeah,
Home crowd
true.
in front of them, he would have probably played one of the great one-day knocks for the Zimbabwe, and that would have
Yeah,
inspired their cricket a lot. But I think even in this defeat, Zimbabwe will look at a lot of positives. Coming this close,
absolutely.
coming this close against this Indian side, and then before that beating Bangladesh at home, it was not an easy task which they have done. So I think Zimbabwe cricket is coming is it's a resurging side, and it will take its time. And they have an experienced coach like Lance Klusner, who will be helping them, guiding them, and for the health of world cricket at large, you really want Zimbabwe, Bangladesh, West Indies, all these teams to do well. We want Scotland to pull up a surprise. We want Netherlands to put up a great show against Pakistan. despite some of their
Which
best
they are.
players playing. Despite some of their
They have already.
yeah,
They
despite
have.
some of their best county players are playing county cricket right now.
Yeah.
So still against this almost full South Pakistan side, they have given them a decent fight. And all this
Yes.
is great news for world cricket, because if you want the game to grow, you cannot make it a very, very exclusive club where you have team like where the competition is between India, Pakistan, Australia, England, South Africa.
It should genuinely be a game of uncertainties.
Yes. This Zimbabwe side in late 90s could surprise anyone. Anyone. No
Of
one used to take
course.
them lightly. Like that side had Andy Flower, Grant Flower, Alistair Campbell, Heath Streak, Paul Strang. So they were like good cricketers, solid cricketers. And they used to make a lot of difference. You know, Dada will tell you long before the sweep and reverse sweep came, there was an Andy Flower who used to master that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You were 5-year-old.
55, 56 average after 55 average after 65 test matches. Andy Flower, what
Yeah.
a cricketer.
Yeah.
Henry Olonga,
Henry Olanga. Yeah. So all these cricketers.
My goodness.
Sean Irvine. Loads of names from there.
Yeah.
Okay, Joyda, if I can come to you with regard to Team India's bowling. Spinners did their job. Towards the end, could you explain to us, or what you felt, whatever made Shardul Thakur and Avesh Khan do that type of bowling, especially to Sikandar Raza? Because, I was hearing the commentators as well, that one over where, Sikandar Raza was going hammer and tongs, especially to Shardul Thakur. There were so
There
many
were 2 overs.
wides, so many no
There-
balls.
there-
Yeah, 2 overs.
There was one.
2 overs.
There was one.
2 overs.
There was one.
Zimbabwe hit 36. Yeah, yeah.
There was this 20-run over and a 16-run over. So 36 runs in 2 overs. But I somehow thought that somehow India was not ready for this onslaught. They did not expect that they will need their Yorkers and slower balls in place. I thought this was lack of preparation. They just thought that they'll show up and roll them over. And they have in the first 2. See, today, if India had, like Nishant rightly said, if India had won the toss and fielded first, same thing would have happened. They wouldn't have needed any of the Yorkers and the slower balls. But today, they tested themselves, and I'm glad they did. Because something has come out of this for India. Now, they are not thinking we are the best in the world. They think we have a lot of hard work to do. And you always want work to do if you want to go ahead. You never want to say that we are up there and we are the best and we are doing everything right. So today was a great wake-up call, and I'm glad that it's happened in this game against Zimbabwe, than against in the Asia Cup or in the T20 World Cup, where every game matters.
I personally, I actually have liked the approach of this Indian team management. Like a lot of players, a lot of people can, say that they have done unwanted changes, they have taken unwanted risk, like asking Surya Kumar Yadav to open in West Indies was not something you would expect any team to do. Surya Kumar Yadav is a middle order player, and he's probably your best T20 player right now. But they pushed him to open the innings. They wanted to test him. They have asked Rishabh Pant to open the innings. So, which clearly shows that this team has a long-term plan. All these bilateral series are actually for them the place where they want to experiment and find the best combination, find the way they can use their resources in the best possible manner. And we will see the end result of all of it in weeks' time when India enters Asia Cup. Then there is a trophy to win. Then there is something at stake.
Yes.
I think going forward, bilateral series will be played like that. It will keep losing its relevance because of the so much of 2020 leagues happening. Only marquee bilateral series like India versus Australia, 5 test matches will have its own charm. India versus England, Ashes will have its own charm. Hopefully India versus Pakistan someday, test cricket will have its own charm. But these 2020 games, this one-day games, I think we will get very excited, and teams will also prepare. Like, I think once this T20 World Cup finishes, you will see Indian team getting into the mode of preparing their team for the next World Cup in India. Then you will see a lot of experimentation around that what will be our best combination, because it will be 1 year from there. like October, the T20 World Cup finishes, and hopefully the next World Cup in India would be around that time. So what I'm trying to say is that I have been really, really impressed the way they have been very brave. Like this was a wicket which was the most easy call: win the toss, bowl first. But today, after winning the series, they decided to challenge themselves. Decided to put themselves in uncomfortable position, and they came up with.
Not in
Joyda,
the
where am
not
Joyda, why
not
am
in
I
the
not seeing that big smile on your face? Hadn't you said the
not in
same
the second.
things?
I did, but not in the second one day. Not
Hmm.
under pressure. This was without pressure,
Yeah.
and
Without
we all
pressure.
know what this game can do to you when pressure is on.
So, Dada, I think in one day cricket did
No,
it
no,
like
I agree with you. I said the same thing when in the second one day when you were
this.
flying back. I said the same thing. I said I will know if they get a chance in the third one day they will, but I wish they did that in the second because that's
Even
where pressure is.
even against West Indies in the T20 games, I think they are more willing to take those chances because they know that something is immediate, something is coming up like in 2 months' time, and that's
Mm.
why we saw Surya Kumar Yadav opening the innings. Lot of bowling changes. Some of it
Yeah,
is
because Rohit is saying we want to be a multi-dimensional team. So we want anybody, six players who can bat anywhere.
I think
That's
that's
the
the way.
mantra. If it works, fine.
I
Right?
think that's the
I can't
20.
imagine Rohit Sharma batting at six, but I know Surya can bat. There are two, three players who can bat at different paces. I
Where
can't
I,
imagine Rohit batting at six. I can't imagine Virat batting at six. But
and
I
I,
can
I
imagine Surya batting at six, four, one, Rishabh at one, four, six. They're multi-dimensional players.
and one must not forget Hardik Pandya. Hardik Pandya, like at one stage 2 years back, he was only a good five-number player or six-number player.
Yeah, yeah,
Today he
absolutely.
had bat at three. He can bat at four. He has added few gears to his batting. He knows when to stop. He knows when
You
to
know,
hit.
my
What to put.
my humble take on this is that if you're a guns number six player, you can probably bat at four and one also. But
That's what.
if you're a gun 1-2 player, and if you're used to that power play and if set 6 overs, I'm 42 batting, and then the power play opens up, the field opens up. I'm not so sure six will be so easy for you. I've seen some players. Rohit has batted at four and struggled.
Why I'm not surprised. There was a certain Yuvraj Singh who started his career at six and ended up being as the top number four batter for India in one day cricket.
But he
Same.
batted four, he batted a lot four, he batted five also in the middle. But
Yeah.
see, again, he's a guy who could have batted at three, could have opened. But I can't imagine somebody like, let's say, who do we
Rahul
pick?
Dravid. Rahul
Somebody,
Dravid batting at
yeah,
six.
Rahul also. It
Rahul
was
has got.
Rahul and UV at 5 and 6
Uh,
because it was Viru, Sachin, and Saurav. And then it was, the rest. So it was Yuvraj and Rahul who took that game. Everybody talks about Sachin's 98, yeah, true, but these two were also at the back end. Because 19 doesn't win you the game, you still got to get the rest of the runs.
yeah. Agreed. Completely agreed.
All good.
Okay, it was all good, and it was so nice to hear from both you gentlemen. Alike as always, and yes, this is the kind of match I like because as a host, this time I'm not running out of questions. I'm running out of time
I
because
was
there are so many things to talk
I
about, so
was
many people to
I
discuss.
was
Yeah, Nishant.
asking Damni before the show started, what is making you more angry today? India's performance? Or are you happy today that India has won?
She is.
Zimbabwe found everything, all the boxes ticked today.
34
So
minutes,
come on,
34 minutes have
reveal
flown
the
by.
answer. Nishant, reveal my answer. What did I say?
We said that this is the game I wanted. I said all the boxes ticked.
Yes.
You're happy today.
Because I'm very happy that the opposition has actually shown character. The only sad part is whatever prevented them from playing like this throughout the series when they have so much talent
The
in them.
conditions, the conditions, the conditions.
Oh
I mean, the
boy.
condition. They lost the toss on difficult wickets. That is the reason why.
Yeah.
So it was when somebody is lacking in skill on that particular day, you cannot hold them up. We've lacked in skill a lot to a lot of teams. India has been World Cup semi-finals, lacked in skill. We were out. It's a game of skill. It's not that they didn't
Yes.
want. Today, everything happened for them because they batted in better conditions. India batted in tougher conditions. So it was made a game. It's not that nobody's trying. You could make out Sikandar Raza after getting 100 walking back, head down, didn't even look up. That's how disappointed they are, in spite of getting a one-day international 100 against a team like India. That's how much they care. Nobody's hurting more than them. Nobody.
Damni, I will wrap it up with a line that when you were not even born, even to beat Zimbabwe in Zimbabwe, it was very difficult for India. I've seen that team. I've seen that heartbreak in '97
And if
when
and
India.
if Sanjay Manjrekar in one series, we were going to South Africa, we went to Zimbabwe to play one test match. If Sanjay Manjrekar hadn't got 100, we would have lost the test match. John
Yes,
Tricos took 6 wickets, the off spinner.
yes. We
So
have
we were
seen the
going to South Africa. We were going to South Africa. Zimbabwe said, "Come and play one test match." Okay, we'll play one. We played one test match. We were losing with full team. And Manjrekar
My
had to
God.
get 100 to save us the
so
game, not win us the game.
so
Save
for
us
us,
the game.
for
My
my
God.
generation to see Jasprit Bumrah bowling these Yorkers is like God has manifested our desires. Because when we used to see Wasim Akram doing that to India, and we used to say, "I wish we could do this to someone." And today, when Bumrah does this, when Shami bounces opposition, you don't even know the kind of joys the kids of 90s get, because that was
True.
unimaginable for us at that time. We only used to win at home because we had Kumble, and then we used to give him any other two spinners, Rajesh Chauhan, Venkatpati Raju, and he used to win matches for us. And that is why I say Kumble is the greatest match winner India has ever produced. Period.
And with this, we come to the end of this India tour of Zimbabwe. India once again managing a clinical performance and a clean sweep, 3-0 whitewash against Zimbabwe. But in this final ODI, each and every bit of appreciation would be less to praise how brilliant Zimbabwe were as an opposition. It's only a matter of time that they can continue with their consistency, such great performances. And ladies and gentlemen, you were hearing my panelists Jaideep Mukherjee and Nishantjeet Arora. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining. Now, from here on, we move on straight to the upcoming and much awaited Asia Cup that will be played in the UAE, and India begin their campaign with the extreme hot pot boiler India versus Pakistan on the 28th. So do not forget to tune in to that very important match. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining. Until then, take care and good night.
Right.
Thank you. Good night.
Right.